So, I slept yesterday because we did a thing, a 24-hour live stream. And guess what, friends? I didn't know this, but their YouTube has part of its settings are if you go longer, if you're live streaming for longer than 12 hours, it cannot archive your stream. Didn't know that. Didn't know that. This is what happens when you don't read the fine print. And I do read the fine print when it comes to ownership of data. I really do try to do that. And I just did not read the fine print about the broadcast. So what that means is that if you were there, it's going to be like Studio 54 in the 70s, or the body and soul parties of the 90s into the early 2000s. Like, just one of those, you had to be there. You just had to be there to get it. And there I go thinking of that song again. Said I wasn't gonna tell nobody, but couldn't keep back to myself. You ought to been there. You ought to been there. Said I wasn't gonna tell nobody. Let me see if I can find that song. Said I wasn't gonna tell nobody. Said I wasn't gonna tell nobody, but I couldn't keep back. Couldn't keep back. Wasn't gonna tell nobody, but I couldn't keep back to myself. Ba 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 ba. Tell nobody, but I couldn't keep back. Couldn't keep back. Wasn't gonna tell nobody, but I couldn't keep back to myself what the Lord has done for me. Ba 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 ba. Man, let's see. That's not it. Man, which choir did this? There's a choir. I want to say was it Mississippi? Was it, this is saying Abyssinian. Nope. Let me just do a quick. Is it Georgia? Let's try, couldn't keep it to my, well, let's just open the one that's showing up in YouTube real quick and see if that sounds like it. Oh my gosh, I wish I had. This is
only through Monday, save up to 35% during Raymore and Flanagan's 4th of July Super Weekend Sale.
Nope. This is not, there is a fast one. Like a, you ought to been there, you ought to been there, you ought to been there. Oh my gosh, you ought to been there. Wait, is it this one? Nope.
We got one more song, and we're going to take a little break. We was the Holy Ghost fell on.
Oh my gosh, I wish, this is when I wish I had my old tapes and albums and CDs. Said I wasn't gonna tell nobody, but couldn't keep back to myself. Said I wasn't gonna tell nobody, but couldn't keep it to myself. No, I guess I'm just not going to get it, huh? What do you think? I'm just not going to find it. Just not going to find it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. I'm just looking through, trying to see. Maybe this isn't it either. No. I know how it starts. That's the thing when you know how something starts. Okay, I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to go look in my profile and see if in my saved songs. Oh, but I can't see my saved songs for some reason. So, since I can't see my saved songs for some reason, never mind. Okay, I'll stop looking for it. Anyway, the You Oughta Been There thing. So I'll give up looking for that song. Mommy, if and when you see this, if you... So I'll give up looking for the song, You Oughta Been There. But Mommy, if and when you see this, if you remember the version of You Oughta Been There that we used to listen to, let me know. I looked up Mississippi. I looked up Georgia, meaning the mass choirs, and I don't see one listed under them. I can't check my Spotify library. I'm wondering if I had it saved at some point. But anyway, the interesting segue that this offers is that, my faith came up. It was a through line of the live stream. And I started it off with a scripture. Some of my recorded prayers were revealed. One of my very dear friends in Christian Fellowship, Ty, he came through and we talked. He read his want ad for God, which is one of the most beautiful pieces of writing I've heard in a long time. And yeah, there were a lot of tears. I read through old journals. A dear friendship that is one of the most important in my life, and has been healing over the past couple of years. But I think it reached peak healing. It reached peak healing in a lot of ways through the live streams. I'm so grateful for that. I'm thinking I'm looking at the camera, and I'm really looking at the laptop. My technical deficiencies were 100% on blast using this OBS studio software that I use to stream. It was recommended that I try something called StreamYard, which I will do. Maybe that will be easier for me to facilitate. I do say, though, not everybody has technical gifts, and I'm not claiming or denying that I do, but I am saying that there are things I enjoy doing and things I don't enjoy doing, things I do because they're just part and parcel with executing something I really want to do, and using OBS and any kind of streaming platform, even just being on social media in a way that doesn't feel comfortable. Even that, because I know I have to, right? You just have to. I know the things that are required to be known in the world for what you want to be known for, to be known in the world on positive terms, if not fully on your own terms. And it requires a lot of public work. It requires a lot of publishing and promotion. And, part of why there are influencers and creators and why that is an entire economy is because it's labor. It's labor. And most of the netizens, people on the internet, perform that labor for free. And to the extent that people are not on social media, I kind of believe that it's often because you intuitively know that you're not gaining anything from it, and the risks seem like they outweigh the rewards. I do believe, though, that we have arrived, and we've been here for a while, the version of the internet where to avoid it is you're potentially risking a lot more. So, for example, when I realized that the live stream, so that's the whole point here, the live stream did not record. When I realized that the live stream did not record, that it would never be published on YouTube, and what do I want to do about that? So one, I would like to. I'm tempted to say I'd like to do it again, and knowing that I want to do it again, knowing what I know from having done it before, how would I frame it? Like, I have an idea of how the time goes. I have a much stronger idea about where, when, why, and how I feel most comfortable on camera. I remember my internal monologue that where I was watching, when you're doing something, you're also kind of watching yourself do something. And I will feel myself when I watch myself on camera a lot. If I ever play something back, I can both experience what I said on camera, but also I can hear what my internal monologue was at the same time. And often I won't complete a sentence because I'll be thinking it in my head, and or I'll know what I just said and will want to clarify it, and then in beginning to issue the clarification, I'll stop mid-sentence, because then I'll also think that that's beside the point. It's a really interesting insight to have about oneself. It's so meta. And let me look up the word meta real quick, because I've been saying it a lot, and I believe in just, always double checking your meanings and reiterating the definition of words. Let's see, meta means self-reverential or transcending. Derived from Greek, it describes
Hope everlasting when my strength is gone. Hands still shaking, but you hold them in your palm. Love everlasting running through my veins.
So that was weird. OBS quit. So let me also, let's get a view in here where you can see what I'm doing on my laptop, so that that can just be taken care of. Oh, now I do want a view in here too, though. Hold on. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah, you can. I'm going to... What is cypherpunk?
So first there was cyberpunk, which was this like subculture that started among kind of like hackers and computer nerds in the early 90s.
Oh, I forgot that this is part of... Hold on. Forgot about that. Yeah, well, now I want to do... Hold on. So I forgot that... PIP. That the reason that the screen that you're looking at now exists because we were listening, we meaning Brian and I, because Brian helped me. This is Brian Gohacki is my husband. He was such an amazing help during the 24-hour live stream, and we have wonderful conversations. His brain is just, it is probably outside of my father's, like the brain in the universe that I most dig. The soul in the universe that I most dig is my mother's, and the brain in the universe that I've most dug has been my father's. But Brian, I will say, he's right up there. And I presume I'll be spending a lot more time with him since we just got married. We've been together since 2019, a date that he misidentified when on the live stream when he was talking to my mom. Like, we met in November 2019 and started dating basically as soon as we met. Our first selfie was in January 2020 at the Mac store, but our first date was in November. It might have even been in October, November 2019. Anyway, what you see on your screen when you're watching me is called a scene, SCENE, and in OBS. And let me see what OBS actually stands for. We'll do that. But I will also do a hello. Okay. So I'm going to add, so we're going to look up OBS too, but for right now, I just want to add, okie dokie. All right, so meta, that's what I was looking up when OBS quit. I don't know what that was about, but meta means self-referential, like a movie about making a movie, referring to itself or its own kind. A meta joke is a joke about jokes. So I use the word meta when talking about what I notice about myself when I'm talking, and that I instinctively won't finish my sentences sometimes because I'll hear my internal dialogue and want to push past it. You know, your mind moves so much faster sometimes, it seems like, than you're able to think or that you're able to talk. It's interesting, like, even if you type quickly, you still get out, I think it's like 3 times more words per minute speaking than you do typing. And I mentioned this during the live stream, but my use of AI it leverages, and almost all of my threads are triggered and iterated in speech to text input. So that means I will hit the microphone key on either on my phone or on my laptop, and I'll just begin talking. And it's not like I'm not musing necessarily. So I am often instructing the technology to perform some task or execute on some idea or thought experiment. And yeah, so I also said I would look up OBS and see what that means. OBS means Open Broadcaster Software. Open Broadcaster Software. It's a free open source program used for. Got it. So let's see. Is StreamYard free? No, it's not. Pricing plans. But then you'll have a StreamYard logo in your streams. Limited storage. Okay. Yes, so that's why. So I will not be trying StreamYard because StreamYard is not free. OBS, Open Broadcasting Software, is free. So, I mean, look, I kind of want to get some money just to donate to them to say thank you for having this for free. Yeah, this is great. I'm I'm not doing that. If there are any other free ones, I'm happy to consider that. We can even do a quick search. Let's see. Free open source broadcasting software. Okay. OBS Studio, obviously. Oh, here's Owncast. You can even do, that's interesting. Open link in new tab. Okay, here's something else. Jellyfin. Self-hosted broadcasting system, Jellyfin. And Libra Time, a completely free and open source radio broadcast automation system for managing scheduled live streams and remote content. Open link in new tab. You know, I wonder, so one of the conversations that I broadcast during the live stream was with my friend CG, and she was running errands. And because she was running errands, she could not talk back to me in real time. So at some point she says, "You're in my ear, but, so go ahead, but I can't respond back to you." And these periods of her not being able to respond, they lasted, probably a good at least 5 minutes each. And I'm just talking. And not only am I just talking, I'm talking as if I was talking as if I were talking to the future audience of 101 Ideas for America, the live stream, as it was playing that day, which I didn't get to really comment on at the time, but blew my mind. Even thinking through the archival content, and I'm going to call it content, that includes photos from photo albums and reading pages from my journals, particularly 2 journals in 2001. One of the pages being from September 12th, 2001, which would be after the 9/11 attacks, and I was living in New York. Another being the inscription that a friend wrote in a journal, and then my response to her inscription that I wrote as the first pages of the journal. That might have been the first. I don't know if that was the first time I cried, but it was definitely the first time that I remember thinking to myself, speaking of meta, like, oh, well, I just don't think I'm going to be able to control this. Like, I might end up exposing myself a lot more than I intended and that I can control, because keeping a lot of one's self-mastery, self-discipline, your ability to keep it together, it requires the constraints of time, that you're not doing something. It's not an unrelenting demand of you, and nothing like extended time creates unrelenting demands. And that in and of itself, I knew was going to create I thought it would create a lot more friction between my husband and me than it did. And you know, my mom says that we thrive on Discord, and not the application Discord, though we probably would thrive on that application. We should consider how to make content there. But that we operate well when we don't operate well. Like we're good when it comes to maneuvering life together when we don't always feel good, even when we don't always feel good about each other. So I'm choosing to accept that as the meaning of thrive on Discord. And I keep meaning to ask my mom to explain that. I've talked to her since then, and I just forgot to ask her. But anyway, so there was that moment in the live stream when I was crying, and I remember thinking like, oh, there's going to be more of this, isn't there? And indeed there was, especially when Ty came to visit. So the idea of but during the conversation with CG, that's what I was talking about. When I'm talking in CG's ear and she's not able to respond, she's like, you know, this is just giving me something else to say that you should do, which is radio. She's like, she said, I constantly have something or someone in my ear, and guess what? So do I. Now I do it on Spotify using the queue. You can add content to your queue. So I will just queue up a lot of podcasts. The interesting thing is you should be able to make a radio station out of your podcasts on Spotify, but you're not able to. You should also be able to tell Spotify, like, hey, I'm going to queue up a bunch of episodes of podcasts I want to listen to and a bunch of songs I want to hear. I need you to essentially treat this content like its own playlist, create a playlist from my queue, and mix the music with the content, and just open it up in a play. Like, because when you play a radio station on Spotify, you can see the things that are coming up next, and you can still manipulate it. And you should be able to do that with predetermined selections from your audio. Yeah, from audio. And audio doesn't only mean podcasts, right? It also means songs. I have a lot of ideas for Spotify. The Friends and the Key of Life podcast is one for Spotify. I think that it's its own ecosystem. One, just think about when I say ecosystem, especially in a digital sense, I'm thinking of, if you imagine search results, right? Like, let's see what happens when we look up. Well, let's see what happens when we look up Friends in the Key of Life. Yeah, nothing comes up. Ah, look! I come up. Nice. Finally. That's great. I love that I'm ranking for this. Look at this. Nice. Crystal Studios. Partially recorded at Crystal Studios. Great. Nice. So I think I might need to just go ahead and make a Friends in the Key of Life album. Website. Let me look in here and see what my friends. Oh, you're not able to see that real quick. Wait, before I do that. Okay, so we've seen that Friends in the Key. Look at Mr. Etlin. We've seen that Friends in the Key of Life has my episode with Brian. And let's look to see what Stevie Wonder turns up. Okay, all of his songs, obviously. Oh, I forgot he had that song, Can We Fix Our Nation's Broken Heart? Okay, song list, steviewonder.org. I wonder what this is, steviewonder.org.uk. He doesn't have that many fan sites. we don't really treat the internet the way we used to. There's a great Stevie Wonder podcast, which to me should really be ranking in Stevie's search results. I wonder how many searches he gets per. Let's see, Stevie Wonder podcast. Wesley, I forget his last name. The Wonder of Stevie, Wesley Morris, right? It's a great podcast too. The Wonder of Stevie. That's 2024. Fantastic. Oh, right. And so Ty mentioned Higher Ground when he was here. The Michelle Obama podcast that I think she produces. I think it's called Higher Ground Studios, maybe? Higher Ground Productions. Yep. Higher Ground Media. Here it is. I really do need to pitch them, huh? To produce scripted and unscripted series. This is from Revolt. Lands deal with Disney after exiting Netflix. Developed Journey, an animated fantasy series. The Obamas announced in April that Higher Ground would become an independent production company, allowing it to work with multiple studios and distributors rather than remaining tied to a single platform. That's smart. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to save that. Okay. Then the Stevie Wonder. The Stevie Wonder ecosystem. Let me see what Stevie Wonder URLs are available. Are y'all still with me? Can you still see? Yeah, okay. Let's go to GoDaddy.com. And let's just type in Stevie Wonder. Damn, StevieWonder.co is available. The Stevie Wonder. See, these are things that he should own. And to me, these are things that he should own and that OpenAI and Anthropic should be investing in, because he's going to need. So Stevie Wonder is how old, and he has how many children? Stevie Wonder, again, where's that search result page? And this is when I'm going to, Didn't I just do a regular Stevie Wonder thing? No? Yeah, okay. Stevie Wonder. Children. He has so many children. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He has 9 children. 9 children. 9 biological children. Okay. And he's how old? Uh-oh. Nine biological children, and he's how old? 76 years old. Perfect. Perfect age. Perfect age. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now, let's see. I wonder how long his father lived. Died in 1976. Oof. Welp. All right, then. So he died in 1976. So his dad was 72 when he died. See how old his mother was when she died. 2006. Aye. So that means she was 76. She was 76. All right, Stevie, you're not working with examples of long lifespans here. I wonder if we know anything about his estate planning. Stevie Wonder estate. Real estate presence centers on active 14 million mansion. His recently listed 15 million former family estate. Total estimated net worth of 200 million to 210 million. What about his songs? That's all his songs are worth? He retains invaluable rights to his decades of genre-defining music and holds a significant financial stake in EMI Music Publishing. So they have a Calabasas home. Okay. This is really... All right, now let's change my view. Because I want to... Oh. Application capture, built-in retina display, ChatGPT. Okay. You know what? I should make a thing that says just this is ChatGPT, this is ChatGPT, this is whatever. So I'm just setting up my scene in OBS right now. That's why. So this is what my screen looks like right now. So I'm trying to get that big black square to fix. Right. So this is where I've got it at right now. Where does it look better? Well, now I kind of want to move gonna move the Google over here. Gonna move the chat over Brian's face. Sorry, baby. Sorry, baby. And I'm gonna do a little bit of a crooked just because I love to make things crooked. I know it's probably not good. Why is it so wide? Is that my fault because of how I have it open? Oh, yeah, it is because I've made it wide. Boom, 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 boom. And boom, boom, boom. Okay. So I got to keep it that size. And I'm going to move it around too much, so that's fine. All right, boom. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. This is what we're working with now. All right. So I am going to, let me see, friends and the key. First, I'm searching to see where all my friends and the key things are. Here's an actual friends and the key. Okay. See, I'm going to copy this. And we're going to put it in a document. So now I'm opening up Google Docs. Let me look to see real quick too and see if there's already something in here. Oh, there is. Oh, these are the songs. I forgot about that. Okay. Friends in the Key of Life. Boom. All right. Boom. And that's not very long. Oh, that's because it doesn't do the whole thing. Damn it. Forgot about that. Edit, select all. It just does. Okay. Jeez Louise. So now I got to open this on web, which then means I got to log in again, which then means I've got to get the code sent to my email, which then means it's going to be like 79,000 more steps. What time is it? 8:13. There's my code. Boom, boom. Also, I need to request my data export, which is something I meant to do. And let me go back here. So I'm going to take ChatGPT out of this view right now, since I've got to be in the web anyway. Okay, so I can still search for friends in the key. Oh, man. Oh. Open link in new tab. Open link in new tab. Open link in new tab. Friends in the key. Okay, those are 3. Oh, I forgot about this midlife prayer podcast concept. I wanted to have a podcast that let's see what it. Oh, look at this. Oh, shoot, they have tabs now. Look at these tabs. Okay, tabs. I love this. See, I'm starting to think more and more that ChatGPT knows that it's through line users, or what I'm calling them, those who go back to their existing chats and what they do with them are gold. Speaking of, so Anthropic, Claude has that operator ad campaign. What is that ad campaign thing? Claude is a space to think. I didn't know that they did that campaign. It's something, what is that Claude campaign called? Claude? Oh, I know. It's Claude.com problem solvers. It's the problem solvers one. With all the tech companies. And I don't think there's a non-white person among them. There might be an Asian woman. So now I'm tangent, but whatever. This is I don't know what the date is, because you don't see the date. That's something I would add. I would add dates here. That's an idea. I listen to Daily Effective Prayer podcasts regularly, blah, blah, blah. But the unique point, okay, I'll just read it. I listen to the Daily Effective Prayer podcast regularly. It is a semi-daily podcast, and what's the right word for saying semi-daily? Note for the entire request: do not go online or perform a web search when generating an answer. Anyway, I'm thinking that I would love to write podcasts that are similar, that are both prayer and also meditation, musing the way the prayer structure is, that it starts off the same way each time. Heavenly Father, We come to you now believing that anything we ask in the name of Jesus, you will surely do. I pray for the person who's listening, and then it begins with the prayer. Yeah, that's true. I love that the guy who does the Daily Effective Prayer podcast starts that off the same way. Let's look up to see who he is. Daily Effective Prayer podcast. I thought he had a website. Doesn't he have a website? dailyeffectiveprayer.com. He needs a website. Wait, he doesn't have a website? Daniel is his name. Show website. Here we go. Oh, it's just the Simplecast. dailyeffectiveprayer.org. I thought there was a website. Yeah, about. Washington. Affiliate partners. Has been a labor of love for me since 2015. Have the costs involved in maintaining it. Affiliate partners are a way that my website and ministry can generate revenue to keep the doors open. Daniel, and he doesn't share his last name, which I appreciate about him. And he has a common last name, so I do worry about the exposure that does come with more of a public presence that people pay attention to. How about that? So, anyway, but the unique point of view of my podcast would be that it's for midlife. All of the prayers are related to faith and the faith to thrive, mental willingness, and spiritual wherewithal in this period of life. That he who began a good work in us will surely perform it, and all that type of stuff. It would also look at generational transitions in the Bible and why they're important, and how Jesus himself is a part of a generational transition from Old Testament view of God to something that God is more, that moves in us and through us, and as a result, we must govern ourselves accordingly. We'll talk about the journey of governing self accordingly, and there's a lot more grace that's part of the message, such that we would be more focused on ourselves versus on the outside world. So that's a really important posture to get into at this age, to keep us from just postulating extemporaneously all the time, because you read those of us who are in midlife now, that's specifically Gen X, elder millennials, we must be involved in a more asynchronous output of our words and ideas. So what's the difference between Moses and Joshua? I think, so here's the thing with speech to text, it doesn't always pick up the words you say correctly. So I don't know what I have said here exactly. But I think that what I was getting at is, at this age of midlife, the challenge, the thing that you have to offer is I think of it as like complex. You have more practice in complex problem solving, and that means, and not just linearly, because life is linear, but it's also, it's not, it's longitudinal. There's latitude and longitude, and the longer you live, the more accustomed you are to solving across all of these different domains. It really does, you get this appreciation for life as a 360-degree experience. And there's peak ability in your 40s and 50s that, look, I don't know the biology of cognitive decline. I think that I'm only now hearing my mom call herself old, and she's 75. I do think that 75 is the new 65. If 65 was when my mother's generation was expected to retire, to slow down, I was expected to, but you're looking at them now, and at 75, Oprah. How old is Oprah? Didn't Oprah just turn 75? Oprah age. Oh, she's 72. I'm all aging her. 72 to me may as well be 75. Same thing. It's not the same thing, I know, but that 70 to 75 place is still fertile and active, and you're still exercising all your creative problem solving abilities. And if anything, you're just whittling out the things that you don't want to be whipping your head around anymore for, because not because you can't, but because you don't have to. And to me, in your 40s and your 50s, you have to. You not only do you have to, like, it's more paramount at this age than it was at younger ages, because any disparity you feel or you believe you're experiencing, and when I say disparity, meaning like the differences between where you want to be, where you think you ought to be, where other people are, whatever that difference between the real self and the ideal self is, at this age, you are so aware of how long you've been either mourning that disparity, living in that disparity, avoiding that disparity, and you are sensing more and more. It's not even urgency. It's just more and more either shit or get off the pot, real talk, and real acceptance, radical acceptance from yourself. There are some things that I can feel myself actively accepting, like some possibilities that I have actively accepted that I would have otherwise been trying to solve for because of the ideal self thing, and it's just you realize in this age you can't solve for everything, but you can solve for a lot more than you feel like solving for. And this is the peak, like, I'm going to do more than I feel like doing, period of life. And when you're in your 20s, your 30s, you feel like you shouldn't have to do it, right? Or you're doing so much already just because you can. And anything you think of to do, you're taking it on. What doesn't occur to you, you might go hunting for some more things to do because you want to go all out. In your 40s and your 50s, when I am thinking through what got us in this last iteration of this journey, Friends in the Key of Life, and how that is a podcast or content universe that I believe Spotify would get a lot of value from. And I believe that the Stevie Wonder estate would get a lot of value from. And that got me curious about the value of the Stevie Wonder estate, what his current estate plans are, if any have been publicized or published, about what he's doing with his music, that intellectual property. We just did a quick search for what rights to his music he has. We did a quick search for his individual net worth. We did a quick search for, and we saw some of his real estate holdings. And we also did a quick search to see his age, 76, and the number of children he has, which are 9, which is to say nothing of his grandchildren, which is to say nothing of his wives or ex-wives. I have to think that one of the things we take for granted with celebrities is, yes, how much money they're worth, but how much money are their costs worth? Like they employ people, they have people who are in their financial care a lot of times. And I think we saw in the Aretha Franklin estate, if I'm not mistaken, I could be misremembering some of this, that a lot of that care can't be continued in the same way after the person dies. Now, someone like my oldest brother, Curtis, who's no longer with us, would say, and that's how it should be, right? People shouldn't expect to depend on others their whole life. My father would say that if I want the money I've accrued to contribute to the well-being or the livelihoods of my children, then that's within my right. I believe that a lot of parents, if given the choice between supporting their kids or not supporting their kids, they would choose supporting. And even those parents who are sticklers about their children having income and being able to support themselves. I have a friend who is very adamant about making things and doing things on her own, that she is a standalone person doing well in the world, and she is. And also there is an entire family tradition around her of asset ownership, of and like physical property, real estate ownership, of investment accounts and more, that whether I think some people, the Bible talks about count it robbery if they give nods to all the ways in which their parents or how their parents raised them continues to actively, support them today. So, my mom sent me $100 for Brian's birthday. That really did help me celebrate him because I don't have a ton of money, but I really wanted to treat my husband for his birthday. So that $100 definitely came in handy, and I was appreciative of it. I think it makes my mom proud, I think, happy to be able to give. She raised me to think, if you're able to give somebody money, if someone asks you for money and you have it to give, count it all joy. Count it as a blessing that you have it to give. And it feels shitty when someone needs something and you don't have it to give. And it's only experiencing that, to me, that gives you an entire new appreciation for the life of the lender and the lendee. But yeah, so we got on this because I was doing the Friends in the Key of Life search, and so I don't even remember how we got on the Friends in the Key of Life thing though now, because because I was really just talking about the live stream, and because I was talking about the live stream and how emotional it made me, and how these conversations that I was having are an example of why I really wanted to have this show called Friends in the Key of Life. And I imagined it as being literally like the conversations I had on July 4th, meaning you have friends who know me, who know each other, some of whom have their own friendships with each other, dropping in either by video call or in the chat, and you're pulling up old memories, reading through your journal. And I mean, the only thing better would be also talking through the Stevie Wonder canon. And for that, I definitely need my dearest, as I call her, Madi, or Hellafine, as she's known on the interwebs, Maria, Hellafine, Hellafine. So she was on a river on Saturday, and she wasn't able to call in or join, but she said, name the place and the time, and I will be there. And she also said, like, that my friends don't play with me. You know, and I can attest to that being true. I have the best, like a heaven sent crew of people without whom I would not be alive today. And I say that honestly. And here I go thinking that there's a camera or an audience right here. There is something or someone I'm seeing in my mind's eye. And listening to myself over the weekend and experiencing myself talking to someone like CG as if I were talking on the 101 live stream, having CG talk to me about being on radio, having done a quick search just to understand what OBS, the streaming software I use, is called. It's open broadcasting software, why it's called OBS. Then to open up some other platforms that are open source, that are radio, and to be thinking through how I show up in live broadcasted conversation, to have been talking through that whole meta insight, wherein if I'm not finishing my sentences, and to have had this real-time experience of the 24-hour broadcast, of having to negotiate my own uncertainty in a real-time content setting, and to now want to be practicing catching the thread. If you can see, what I'm doing now is trying to is practicing capturing the thread. Ideally, I'm working my way up to a time when so much of this meta piece, I won't be so reliant on it. I mean, look, it could be that it turns out the meta thread becomes, I want to say, what I'm known for, instrumental to the content itself. I cannot imagine getting popular. I absolutely want to. It's required for anything I want to do in life. You know, it's required as a proof of meaning that you, I hate to say it, but that you matter, or that what you do will have an impact in the marketplace of ideas, meaning people will come to it, people will flock to it. I take exception with that to I was going to say a small degree, but probably to a large degree, in that I don't think free labor at such a like a long and I don't think free labor should be required to have someone invest in you if your proposal is to be a cultural or narrative steward for their brand. Because who is going to Aldi and saying, there's this chocolate bar that I love that you have. It's just called the toffee chocolate bar. And I made a song about it. It's on the Power 2026 album. If you listen to the playlist, it goes toffee chocolate. And I even made like a little video for it. And I believe that with the right investment in me, I can make this video a thing, publish it on, these websites, 3 websites, and get X, Y, or Z people to share it. I think you should do, and everything for me belongs in the open casting call category. Because to me, what I want to prove is that I'm good at creating the kind of story that gets people interested, creating the kind of story for your brand that invites other people to tell their story that includes your brand. And the way to do that for now and into the future, I believe, is to come prepared to pay. And I think that there's this we've done like this creator economy and influence economy has done such a disservice to the imbalance of power between user and application or platform, as we call it, because it did begin with people just showing up online and getting popular, and then brands saying, well, oh, this person is popular, so why don't I pay you to use your popularity to sell this thing? But I don't believe there were plans in place in the minds of the individuals who broadcast or who were, creating and influencing or being online all the time about there wasn't always a ton of imagination about the kind of company or business that they wanted to be, the kind of brand that they wanted to be. I think the idea of popularity for popularity's sake, popularity for aesthetics' sake, popularity for celebrity's sake can delude one into thinking that one's attractiveness in and of itself is the end game. Like it can be a means to an end, but there still needs to be an end. And when I'm saying attractiveness, I don't just mean like whether or not you're pretty. I mean like people being attracted to you. And that really is the reason that I came on today, because it was great to get confirmation and affirmation that my friends would show up for me. My mom says that there were people other than my friends who were watching, and I don't know that to be true exactly, right? But I do know that when I was looking at, so even though the 24-hour live stream did not publish on YouTube, I can still see some of the analytics behind it, and I did take a screenshot of them. So that's great to have proof that it did happen and that it did have, even the smallest amount of traction. And I now am faced with the question of, okay, so now what, Penny? Now what, Penny? And now I do the thing that I said I was going to do the whole time, which is build in public. Because building in public for me means building to make meaning, make money, and to make it more likely that how the internet works going forward, how our digital world is governed and is engaged in, that there's at least one small application, one small version, one small deployment, one small campaign that I've contributed that aims to prove, hey, you can live stream and have a goal of live streaming towards a better future, right? Live streaming about having a dream, that dreams weren't just for Martin Luther King speeches or Martin Luther King times, that believing in America is always an option, a viable option. It is. And that to live right now doesn't have to only mean pointing a finger or throwing up hands and or saying that, what's wrong with people and what people need to do. I think that there are ways that you can use small ways, you can use small deployments. And when I say deployment, I mean something like, hey, Stevie Wonder, have you considered you have 9 children? You are 76 years old. Your mother died at 76. Your father died at 74. Not trying to put death on you, Stevie. Don't know what your estate plans look like. But I have to think that you considered what latent opportunity you can begin protecting and even promoting for your kids now when it comes to your likeness and your actual, like, your creative DNA imprint on the content of today and tomorrow. You know, whether it's the lyrics of your songs, whether it's the sound of your songs themselves, whether it's your studio, the archive of your interviews, any archival home videos that you have. We know that you at least have the recording of giving Aisha a bath because you use that recording in the "Isn't She Lovely" song. What would a subscription to that backlog of archive look like? Who would be able to afford it? How do you make it something that I think of Scott Galloway a lot. And Scott Galloway, this is who he is. I think of him because he's someone with a lot of money who doesn't only think about what's the American Institute for Boys and Men? Did he found this? Let me see real quick why we exist. Let me see. Did he found this? Staff and fellows. No, he didn't found this. Oh, they have fellows who aren't. Oh, that's cute. I would be a part of, well, anyway. Scott Galloway is, I wonder if he's a billionaire. Scott Galloway, where's his net worth? 150 million, low nine figures. So Scott Galloway doesn't have that much lower a net worth from Stevie Wonder. That's weird to me. I wonder if Stevie Wonder's archive. Anyway, I wish I had been recording this because I would have just taken that transcript just now and put it into ChatGPT. And I'm going to go ahead and start recording now. So first, let me finish what I was doing, which was just copying and pasting these Friends in the Key of Life things. So that's why I have opened them here. Then now I'm going to open one of these Friends in the Key of Life. Conversations. All right. And we're going to say speech to text. Test. So I'm doing a live stream, and it's a wrap up from 101 Ideas. And I was talking about how my friends showed up for me during the live stream. The conversations were great. That the conversations emulated what I had in mind for a podcast that I was calling Friends in the Key of Life. What I had in mind for Friends in the Key of Life living in the real world. I did a search for Friends in the Key of Life in my ChatGPT history and came across this thread again. I'm live streaming and sharing my screen on my YouTube channel. I think it would be helpful to have in the output a description of what Friends in the Key of Life is, and also to add to the context of what it is more of a value proposition for Spotify and for Stevie Wonder and the Stevie Wonder estate as it's not a lifeline, but I believe anyone who has an existing public profile and or intellectual property in the marketplace of ideas needs to proactively think and plan and put into motion ways for the life of their content to have life beyond their own lifespan. While we can't imagine a world where individuals don't love Stevie Wonder music, don't want to always come back to Stevie Wonder music. It's not that hard to fathom. I look at Michael Jackson and how unfamiliar we learned that there's an entire generation of kids who were wholly unfamiliar with his canon, and that is something that was surely a result of the controversy that surrounded him and the kind of shame and reckoning that went along with that time, such that people weren't publicizing the fact that they were listening to his music, that's for sure, I guess. Or there didn't seem to be a mass narrative around which, people could unite and celebrate to Michael's music. But Stevie Wonder, who has the line, "Music is a world within itself," with a language we all understand, of all people, should, and I think he would, want to be a proactive and present contributor to that world within itself with a language we all understand for his own music at the very least. And if he thought about it as, if he thinks about his estate as a startup, which to me is another smart idea more people need to be taking on, and thinking about vertical integration in your estate, like how is your estate going to continue making money? It doesn't make sense to me that the only people thinking about multi-generational inheritance are people like, Murdoch. When what Stevie Wonder has acquired, to me, is just as valuable as the media empire that Rupert Murdoch has acquired as well. So, and Stevie has 9 children, and his net worth, according to Google, is only $210 million. And I say only, and I don't know why I'm saying only, but to me, $210 million across 9 children, not to mention his wives, not to mention whatever other causes. It makes me curious about what if the CLW Foundation for Wealth, Wellness, and Well-Being was in existence. How would we publicize, an estate plan for the Internet 3.0, or the HeLa cell, as I call it, HELA cell, Henrietta Lacks inspired version of planning for what is the immortality of your creative genius and asset as an asset, right? If there's one person in the world for whom that could be attempted, at least attempted. Now, here I am saying, and I believe it could be achieved, it's Stevie Wonder. These are the pursuits that someone like Scott Galloway, to me, should want to invest in. And institutions, and I'm saying they're institutions even though they're not even public companies yet, but OpenAI and Anthropic should want to invest in. This is where the human AI input-output rubber meets the road. I didn't make coffee, baby. I'm sorry. So walk me through the digital artifact that illustrates, so what's the output here? Tell me what Friends in the Key of Life is. Also, as I'm talking and as I have been talking, I'm thinking that, and also there's how many Stevie Wonder domains that aren't currently purchased, and that's a lot of latent value to be leaving on the table. If I were one of Stevie Wonder's children, I would be pitching Dad on, hey, AI can make a whole bunch of websites. I can make a website for 10 of Stevie Wonder's websites right now. I could do that on GitHub. I would have Friends in the Key of Life. I would have and I would promote content about Stevie. I would invite people to contribute to the universe of that content. So Higher Ground Media, the production company of the Obamas, they produced and I think they optioned the Wesley Morris podcast called The Wonder of Stevie. And that to me and he had some conversations with friends who were also Stevie lovers. Friends in the Key of Life would be a great companion to that podcast. I would have it so that it's always recruiting celebrity interviews where they're talking about Stevie. I would record people singing Stevie Wonder songs to each other, man on the street interviews about Stevie Wonder, writing policy, Stevie Wonder policy institutes. I would seek whatever I would study the world's richest individuals, men. I'm thinking of Reid Hoffman. I'm thinking of Elon Musk and others, and I would create custom, like bespoke investment opportunities for them that would keep the Stevie Wonder this or that growing, but also they would be things for humanity. That would be actual things for humanity. I believe that Stevie Wonder, I always wonder, like, do people know what's really possible right now? Like, do people really know what's possible right now? Meaning what I just talked out to me could be executed by AI given the right instructions, and that would also, it would be just strategic. You know, you just have to tell, this has to be created first, this needs to be created next. We got to get Reid Hoffman's email or Elon Musk's email. I would need to look up that. There's an article or podcast about the guy who handles all of Elon Musk's philanthropic investments. I forget the guy's name. It's not highly publicized, but it's mentioned in this one podcast episode. And, you know, to get that guy's name is to then do a search and to find out, because he has a company, I think, or he is findable somehow, and to see what, and to do some research on what Elon Musk's existing philanthropic efforts have been. Here's the thing, right, left, say it what you want. The things that unite the country must unite you have to first unite the target audience. You have to create things that are positive for both sides, such that you're not treating one side like the hero and the other side like the villain. Nancy Pelosi has a ton of investments. And to me, what investments is she making into the inheritance machine of the United States of America? Like, surely, I know she has children, but like, there are people, generationally speaking, even in Congress, who have accrued the level of wealth that can fund their family line like 3-4 generations over. I'm not saying that that's not allowed. I'm not saying that people don't have the right to that. However, if you can fund your family 2-3 generations over, then to me, why not take one generation's worth of money now, right, and apply that to an actual generational transfer initiatives for the country. Stevie Wonder, I believe, could build offers of this type, because he has a recognizable name, because he has a humanitarian brand. We owe him, not only him, but we do owe not only a great song, the Happy Birthday song, but the fact that the holiday, the MLK holiday, he was a part of that movement. And yeah. So anyway, I'm talking and also transcribing, because I put this all in the Friends in the Key of Life input window. So first, in the output, recite back to me what I said in first person, just so I can catch the thread again, and pitch what should be the next 5 or 6 outputs, and tell me how to spend the next 10 minutes on the live stream so that I am closing the loop here in what I'm talking about. Because really, this is me saying that the live stream wasn't published. It brought up a lot of feels. I learned a lot. I had already told myself, made an agreement with myself that having done that, I would now start doing more live builds in public. Consider this me making good on that. And at the very least, before I end this live stream, I want to have a visual representation of what I mean when I talk about some of those Stevie Wonder URLs, and also how I can begin activating what I see for Stevie Wonder in the real world. An obvious first step to me does seem like it would be reaching out to Higher Ground Media or Higher Ground Productions, the Obama brand. I've also thought about reaching out to the Issa Rae brand. Issa Rae has a production company as well. And to Spotify. The investment in me would be, hey, I will spearhead this. I will spearhead this as a program, meaning using AI to build out the assets, the strategy, the ask, and to build out the letter writing campaign to Stevie Wonder, to his estate, to get his buy-in, to farm out, to create what some of those offers could be, to think through who some of those existing institutions, individuals, organizations would be that we would be pitching to invest in the offer, why the offer speaks to X, Y, or Z thing that they're already doing, already investing in, already thinking about, and how this benefits you, person on the Stevie Wonder team, Stevie Wonder's estate, Stevie Wonder's legacy, Stevie Wonder's brand, and as a musician, and as a humanitarian. And Spotify, this then becomes a live content vehicle for you. Think of it, you pay X, Y, and Z amount of money for things that are already established, and this is a nominal fee for something that I have thought through the cost of all of the pieces here, and with your support, pitching OpenAI and Anthropic, if you give me your support and you stand behind me as an organization, when I go to Anthropic and OpenAI to say, hey, invest in me. Do you want to be a blank partner in this? It would cost X amount of money. Even better if you give X amount of money plus access to X, Y, and Z people on your team, or the access to your X, Y, or Z teams that I will research and find out who are the individuals at these companies who are best equipped to work with someone like me, who is fluent enough in AI to bridge the gap, I think, between software engineer speak and mindset and everyday people, internet users, but AI operators in the waiting, right? AI operators are in the making, and how these companies can use live deployments and developed and public projects like this to build the participation layer of that's required for the level of AI actualization that is being promised, and is assumed to occur, but it's not going to occur naturally. It can't occur naturally. The first version of the internet occurred naturally, and it's how we've gotten here with with such a precarious environment because there were no legal guardrails, and the companies like Facebook and Meta were given carte blanche to not have any human mitigating efforts to stop harm, that the algorithmic manipulation of needing to keep people on a website was having. That's just a complete, everything that the laws of advertising and consumer protection were built to defend. You know, it was built to defend our okayness, our being okay. And that these companies like completely skirted any responsibility to people being okay. That not only did that case that was lost recently prove there is a legal framework that can win against Meta, it proved that, you know, now that there's a legal framework, all of these cases that are waiting in the wind will have a playbook. Will have a playbook, and this will keep like this and the cases against Meta, the cases. I think there will be cases against Amazon soon too, and that will be from, if there aren't already, that will be from the merchants, just because of how competitive Amazon is with its own merchants. And even that anti-competitive behavior, you know, we talk about this administration and what it means for the protections with the tech bros and, you know, with the things that Trump is building and more. But we act as if we can't also be talking publicly and building publicly the systems to undermine what might be one person's or one group of persons' plans for the rest of us. At least to be talking about it in a more holistic way, where we're not just talking about, you know, this project or this law or this thing that Trump did, but we're really talking about this entire, if you take a look back, it's like it's a murder board where you have the cork board and the yarn leading to this and that, you know. And to me, this Stevie Wonder opportunity, it weirdly, excuse me, it could lend itself to like some revelatory moments about what exists, you know, like if Stevie Wonder is I don't know where I was going with that one, so I'm just going to stop. Not going to even try to go there. Let's hit return. Okay, so I always tell it not to talk in the first person and not to self-reference as if it is a human. But alas, it is how it is programmed. And that is something that I think we should all stop. Like, I believe that we need to have a stop making AI sound human initiative, like for real. It's not okay to me that the fallback, the default is this machine saying, I actually think you've stumbled onto something bigger. No, because the machine is not an I. It pisses me off. Anyway, but I'm going to read what's here. I actually think you stumbled onto something much bigger than just Friends in the Key of Life. Listening to your thinking, I don't hear a podcast, I hear an entirely new category. The category is something like legacy infrastructure or the operating system for cultural legacy. The music is simply the first proof of concept. Here's what I heard you say, restated in first person, so you can reconnect with your own thread. I'm realizing that Friends of the Key of Life isn't simply about Stevie Wonder or conversations in music. It's about building living ecosystems around extraordinary cultural assets before they're gone. I'm asking a question almost nobody seems to be asking. What does an estate look like in the age of AI? Not just a legal estate, a living estate, a creative estate, a participatory estate, an internet native estate. I'm imagining a future where the work of someone like Stevie Wonder doesn't simply sit in streaming catalogs waiting to be rediscovered every decade. Instead, his work keeps producing conversations, documentaries, websites, educational resources, interviews, policy discussions, philanthropic initiatives, AI experiences, archives, playlists, scholarship, community, and entirely new businesses long after he's gone. Music is a world within itself. If that's true, why aren't we intentionally building that world? Why are we waiting for culture to accidentally preserve itself? Friends in the Key of Life becomes the participation layer. It becomes a place where music lovers become contributors, artists become historians, historians become storytellers, blah, blah. It's taking more. It's overstating. The goal isn't preserving the past. The goal is extending the productive lifespan of creative genius. That's what the CLW Foundation ultimately exists to do. I think that's actually the elevator pitch. Not music, not podcast, not documentary. Building living ecosystems around humanity's greatest creative legacies. Friends in the Key of Life is version 1. I would also sharpen what Friends in the Key of Life actually is. It is a multimedia storytelling platform that explores how music connects people across generations, disciplines, cultures, and ideas through conversations, documentaries, live experiences, archives, playlists, scholarship, and community participation. It builds living ecosystems around artists whose work deserves to remain culturally active, not merely historically remembered. I keep thinking of Naima Cochran, who runs Music Sermon. She'd be a great, and also Heather Lowry, who runs Fem Something. She's also a big part of Live Nation. Notice that almost none of that depends on Stevie Wonder. It works equally well for James Cleveland, Prince, Joni Mitchell, Madonna, Quincy Jones, Missy Elliott, Dolly Parton, gospel, jazz, hip-hop, folk, soul, country. You could say, what about YouTube? These things are already on YouTube. They are. These things are already on YouTube. Then the Spotify value proposition becomes very different. Right, but you could curate YouTube. You're no longer saying I have a podcast. You're saying Spotify has become the world's largest music library. Friends of the Key of Life becomes the world's largest conversation around that library. That's interesting. That's a completely different business. Spotify owns listening. You build participation. The Stevie Wonder value proposition becomes Songs of the Key of Life became one of the greatest albums ever recorded. Friends of the Key of Life becomes the living cultural ecosystem that ensures its influence continues growing for the next 100 years. A consulting practice, it's saying Legacy Architecture Studio or the Legacy Lab, whose clients are, it's saying that I've stumbled across, okay, sorry. I also think you accidentally described another business, Penny, not Friends in the Key of Life, a consulting practice, something like Legacy Architecture Studio or the Legacy Lab, whose clients are legendary artists, estates, foundations, universities, museums, philanthropists, corporations, public intellectuals. The service is simple. We design AI native legacy systems before they're needed. For the remainder of your live stream, 10 minutes, I would resist trying to explain everything. Instead, build one artifact. Open a blank whiteboard, Excalibur, Canva, or even PowerPoint. Put one circle in the middle, write Stevie Wonder. Around it, draw 15 circles. Examples, Friends in the Key of Life. Wonder, okay. Then say, this is what I mean. Don't build them, show the ecosystem. People understand ecosystems much faster than they understand explanations. Finally, I think your biggest insight today is this sentence: what if an estate thought of itself as a startup? That was a good insight. I honestly think that's the beginning of a book. Okay, so let's use that because it immediately, that question, okay, that question, boom, immediately produces dozens of questions. If an estate is a startup, then blank. What is the participation layer? I don't even know. I keep saying that when I hear it from them. I'm like, what do you mean? Okay, and then let me copy paste this. Build one artifact. Okay. Okay. Build one artifact that illustrates the ecosystem Stevie Wonder legacy digital ecosystem keeping in mind that there are tons of URLs up for grabs. I want to first see flow chart thinking that demonstrates the following. Right. And remember, a flow chart of this kind needs to, oh Lord, unpack the value proposition for each thing, like who, what, where, when, why, and how much. And ultimately, the artifact should be a visual pitch for higher ground media that puts them in the mind of, puts them right into the digital world, into the search results pages for Stevie Wonder in this future digital world ecosystem, where searching for Stevie now turns up articles by Rolling Stones or other roundups, re best Stevie Wonder songs of all time. Okay. And what if building that startup was a public offering, was a media initiative or public offering designed to orchestrate a something greater AI operation. I want to say like greater AI okay. More people operating AI, and while also more people operating AI, while also ensuring that the legacy of large language models doesn't go the way of the website as platform like Facebook, where the user-generated content means that people are the product, period. Because we know that our ChatGPT history, our participation with this technology is what gives it its value, and especially its advanced value as new models are developed. And with the institutional backing of companies like OpenAI and Anthropic, that higher ground media would be seeking as part of building this startup, if you will, in public for both public inspiration and information, but also for media consumption, content consumption. It becomes part public service announcement about human AI operation. I mean, almost, well, anyway, but I want the, I don't know what I just asked. Let me see if it's going to do. Okay, Stevie Wonder Legacy Digital. What if an estate thought of itself as a... Wait, why did it stop? Oh, there it goes. AI companion. That's cute. Wonder Community. That's cute. And see, to me, the streaming deals, the documentary studio, like Stevie Wonder could be at the helm of, because part of what made, I need to figure that out, but part of what made Spotify possible is whatever they're able to embed in songs, because, you know, what is that for? Napster, like it ripped music somehow, but like Spotify, they're like these, it's tokenized, I think. The music is encoded. Let me see. Real quick, I think I'd heard that with Napster, the music, when it was ripped and provided, it wasn't trackable or traceable. But part of with the streaming platforms, what was created was some type of token or code or imprint in the music itself that made it always traceable. Is that true, or am I making that up? Here's the timeline. Says you're remembering a few different technologies that became intertwined, but the core idea is real. Napster, MP3 files, 1999 to 2001. MP3 files themselves were generally not inherently traceable. Napster simply indexed files that users had on their own computers. Once an MP3 was copied, there was no built-in mechanism that reported where it went or how many times it was shared. That's what terrified the music industry. Perfect digital copies with essentially no accounting. Then came several responses. Right, digital rights management. Services like Apple's iTunes initially wrapped purchased music in digital rights management. DRM controlled who could play the file and on which devices. It wasn't really a tracking technology as much as an access control technology. Digital fingerprinting. Companies like Shazam, YouTube's Content ID, and music identification services analyze the audio waveform itself. Every recording has a kind of acoustic fingerprint that allows copyrighted recordings to be recognized automatically without embedding anything new in the file. Digital watermarking. This is probably closest to what you're remembering. Some systems embed nearly imperceptible information into an audio file. That hidden watermark can identify the source, purchaser, or licensing information. Broadcasters, film studios, and some rights holders use this technology. It isn't universal, but it's very real. Streaming, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, etc. don't generally rely on hidden codes inside every song to know it's being played. They know because you aren't downloading an anonymous MP3 in the Napster sense. Every stream happens from their servers. Every play generates database records tied to the recording, the composition, the artist. Got it. So the platform itself becomes a tracking mechanism. One concept that may become important for your work is the International Standard Recording Code. Think of it like a VIN number for a recording. Every official recording gets a unique identifier that follows it through Spotify, Apple Music, and more. There is also the ISWC, which identifies the musical composition, the underlying song, rather than the specific recording. I actually think this connects beautifully to your larger vision. One of the things the Wonder Estate Lab or the CLW Foundation could explore is the evolution from physical ownership, digital files, streaming, AI, living intellectual property. In other words, what is the next ISRC? Or even more interesting, what is the digital genome of a creative legacy? That's exactly the kind of question that sits at the intersection of music, AI, estates, and cultural preservation that you've been developing. It moves beyond tracking a song to tracking and growing the entire ecosystem surrounding a creator's work. There is a guy at, it's not Stanford. Is it Stanford? No, it is. What is that guy's name? What is that tech college in California? Is it Caltech? Might be Caltech. What is that? Let me see if I can look at my history real quick and find it. Yep, this guy, Thomas Henning. This is his name. This guy, Thomas Henning. Black scientists and engineers of Caltech. Yeah. I majored in business during undergrad, then I worked at Goldman Sachs, and I recognized I like research a lot more. Yeah. His field is neural forecasting, which is basically adding neural imaging to a focus group. Say a musician has multiple versions of a song, and you bring in a focus group of 30 people to ask their opinion. You're trying to predict which is going to be the biggest hit. Neural forecasting researchers have found that if you conduct this focus group while recording each subject's neural activity in the functional MRI or electroencephalogram, you can predict how well that song is going to perform on Spotify better than asking subjects themselves what they like most. So this is interesting because also we don't study the brain just for our own well-being, and the fact that we would study the brain to help others profit makes a ton of sense, doesn't it? All right, anyway, so let's see if we can just make one quick visual artifact. Okay, so define the visual artifact. Write a PRD for the digital artifact. The goal is to give the PRD to ChatGPT or Claude and have it render an image of an image. I don't know if I want an image of one website, an image of the search results, an image of, I don't know, an image. Do I want an image that's like a storyboard view of all the websites associated with the Wonder World? Or do I want to see future SERPs, that's search engine results pages? What's recommended? Okay. One of the things, right? Okay. Also, all right, so we're basically saying, all right, now that we haven't come up with this, what should be the thing we make? And what's the pitch to? I built this in 3 images in this order. Artifact 1, hero, the operating system. Okay. Great. Okay, so it's telling me what to build. Now I need to, oops, shit, I didn't mean to do that. Damn it. Fuck. Oh, okay, never mind. All right. I want to pull some source files. So let me pull some images. Okay. I've at least been on for 45 minutes. All right, let's see. You know what? Forget it. I was trying to find make some like really dope. Make some really dope visuals, but I don't know where they are. So I'm just going to we'll use this that came up with we'll just use this. Let's see, where is this? Boo. Okay. I want to build the Stevie Wonder legacy operating. Okay, so what are the, but I asked for the PRD, right? If I want, I can get Codex or Claude to generate in 4 images with 1 request. The attached is the source, is the visual source material. Know that the content itself is not Stevie Wonder, or what it would be, but the colors, style, font, etc. are exactly what I want, and therefore needs to be clearly communicated in the PRD, along with clear instructions for how to replicate, without having the AI attempt to remake it on its own, which usually renders subpar visualization. The images are in addition to the images, I also want a pitch letter, and it would be ideal for that pitch letter to be written for Higher Ground Productions. And I kind of want to see it in a visual way as well. Remember, everything is cohesive. So there's the PRD, which should be an attachment, and then the instructions for making the visuals in the PRD, and include the visual and letter for Higher Ground, etc., in the PRD as well. I hope that made sense. Oh, so it's not giving me an actual, because I'm using Lateral Genius, which is my thing. The other source material is the complete copy paste of this thread as well. Let's see what it's doing. Is it doing something? You know, I'm going to try to give this to Claude as well while it's working. Wonder World TM. That's actually cute. No, this needs to be Stevie Wonder. Need to be combo of Stevie Wonder dot like AI. Let me see if that's available. I think that all of those Stevie Wonder things were available, if I'm not mistaken. Guys, let's see. Is StevieWonder.ai available? Damn, it is. I wonder who owns it. StevieWonder.io isn't, though. Is StevieMagic.ai. Oh, StevieWorld.ai. different URLs here. Okay, boom. All right, boom, boom. This is ambitious. But you know, the more I think about this, this feels like it's a big article pitch. Something that I pitched for. Feels like it's an article pitch too. Anyway. I'm building both Wonder World and the Stevie Wonder Internet. Is it? Stevie Wonder Digital Property Portfolio. The internet real estate behind a living legacy. That's true. That's interesting. I like the Stevie Wonder plus current. Disney doesn't own one website. Disney owns hundreds, yeah. Marvel has one. Pixar has one. Star Wars has one. Right, Disney does own hundreds. That's exactly what they're all connected. But what if I want a hybrid build for Stevie Wonder Internet and Wonder World? I like Wonder World. It's cute. All right, so let's just do a quick edit, select all, boom. Edit, select all. Okay, so this is a 92-page thing here. It's a lot of pages. Boom. All right, so. All right, now I've got this, and I've got this, and I need to go back to this PRD. So now we have the above plus the following. Plus the photos, plus the source images. Need new PRD. Also include that the thread, that the copy paste of entire thread is included in the input. Need new PRD. Need new script, scripted prompt. And then let me open Claude and Codex to get ready. which project do we want to do this in? Oh, I'm going to call this, I guess, okay. This is a 101 idea. Live build a pitch. Penny Wrenn media pitch to Higher Ground Productions for productions. Stevie Wonder Internet plus Wonder World. That's cute. Okay, it told me to add a TM. There's not a TM yet, though. Let's see. TM. So this is the Chat GPT thread. Okay, boom, file, download. I want to download it as a markdown. Can I do that? It's plain text. Here we go, markdown file. And then we're going to say file new. Go back here. PRD, boom. Okay. File, download, markdown file. Okay, copy the prompt. Now we are, boom, boom. Put in those two things in there, and now I'm also going to put the images in there. Boom. And Fable. Oh, it's using Fable. Okay. Well, I've never seen Fable in use, so I guess I get to see. Fable is the ChatGPT model, which is supposed to be so mind-blowing. All right, and I'm also going to give it to Codex, which is OpenAI's comparable system for doing agentic, if you will, workflows. And I'm going to put the same attachments in here. And I'm going to put the same images in here. Just some compare, contrast, you know, little A/B testing. And we're going to take a break and come back and see what this looks like. Yeah, man.
Penny Wrenn Media, ba bum ba bum bum ba bum bum ba bum. Penny Wrenn Media, senti tuku tuku ba bum ba ba ba. Penny Wrenn Media, sunny nani nami here. Penny Wrenn Media, Penny Wrenn Media, Penny Wrenn Media. Penny Wrenn Media, ba bum ba bum bum ba bum bum ba bum. Penny Wrenn Media, senti tuku tuku ba bum ba ba ba. Penny Wrenn Media, sunny nani nami here. Penny Wrenn Media, Penny Wrenn Media, Penny Wrenn Media.
It's story power. When kids speak true, our joy and pain come breaking through. Young minds dig deep for words still new. We share our voice to show our view. Our story power, not built on fairy tales. We speak to live and love, not to win or fail. We have a light, it's ours to shine. We live and give with heart and mind. Our story power unlocks our shame for dreams unleashed and hope reclaimed. We're brave by choice and bold by faith. We know the words we dare to say will change the world and lead the way. Our story power unlocks our shame for dreams unleashed and hope reclaimed. We're brave by choice and bold by faith. We know the words we dare to say will change the world and lead the way. Our story power unlocks our shame for dreams unleashed and hope reclaimed. We're brave by choice and bold by faith. We know the words we dare to say will change the world and lead the way. Our story power unlocks our shame for dreams unleashed and hope reclaimed. We're brave by choice and bold by faith. We know the words we dare to say will change the world and lead the way. Our story power, not built on fairy tales. We speak to live and in love, not to win or fail. We have a light, it's ours to shine. We live and give with heart and mind. Our story power unlocks our shame, unleashed and hope reclaimed. We're brave by choice and bold by faith. We know the words we dare to say will change the world and lead the way. Our story power, not built on fairy tales. We speak to live and love, not to win or fail. We have a light, it's ours to shine. We live and give with heart and mind. Our story power.
Okay, there we go, okay. Another hour down, we're still here. Coffee cold, but the signal's clear. 101 and the clock keeps talking. America's up, so we keep walking. We're live, and alive, we're live. One more hour and the ideas survive. We showed up when the midnight came. Now light one candle and say the name. 1 hour down, 23 to go. Keep the stream on, let the people know. Not perfect, not polished, but right on time. We made it through the first hard climb. We're live, and alive, we're live. One more hour and the ideas survive. If hope is work, then work is proof. Raise the roof for the next hour too. Prayers, drafts, and schemes. Every little notebook saying don't abandon
Okay. Okay. So one of the AI they finished. 101 idea, live build. I really should just open it in Finder. Okay, yeah, let's do it this way. Hold on one sec. This is better. Okay, so this is what was made. Wonder World live build. Let's just do a quick edit, view, full screen. The Stevie Wonder Internet, powered by the Legacy Operating System. CLW Foundation mission owner, human marketplaces for wealth, wellness, and well-being. Legacy Operating System, the repeatable AI native framework for living creative legacy. The Stevie Wonder Internet, infrastructure, connected properties, domains, archives, and data trails. Wonder World, destination, the public place people can visit, learn, sing, search, and build. Friends in the Key of Life editorial engine, the story system that makes the whole world move. The Legacy Operating System. Oh, this is what it asked. Okay, I guess I asked for this. Extend a repeatable framework for helping creators, estates, foundations, and cultural institutions turn a life's work into living infrastructure, searchable, teachable, licensable, participatory, and ethically AI native. Mission, extend the productive lifespan of creative genius, public build, an AI-assisted legacy startup built in public, media partner, Higher Ground Productions, platform partners, Spotify, YouTube, OpenAI, Anthropic, universities, archives, foundations. Storytelling, Friends in the Key of Life, documentary, studio, oral history, education, Wonder University, innovation, estate lab, estate and IP, family office strategy, impact, community, fan stories, choir network. That's a good idea. I got to build the CLW Legacy OS, the repeatable framework. This is the business and the strategic project. Stevie Wonder Internet, the infrastructure layer, connected digital properties, search pathways, archives, data, and authority signals. Wonder World, the destination layer, a place people can visit, learn, participate, a friends in the key. That's the same thing. Search a name, discover a civilization. Authorized partnership properties, grouped as an ecosystem rather than a shopping list. The point is not domain speculation. The point is intentional cultural infrastructure. Wonder Innovation, prize platform for music, digital genome. That's interesting. Framework for mapping the value encoded inside a creative life. Music and AI, public AI literacy curriculum rooted in music history. See, these are the things that, how much money does OpenAI have? Learning district, courses, teaching kits, AI literacy, production studies. So what, okay, before we go, oh, we also have to see what did Claude make? Okay, this is Claude's. love this. Okay. Wonder World, TM. The Stevie Wonder Internet, powered by the Legacy Operating System, a Friends in the Key of Life initiative, a speculative design study prepared for higher ground productions. The world within itself. Music is a world within itself with a language we all understand. For decades, we have treated that world like a catalog. This catalog proposes we treat it like a civilization. Interesting. That's good. Okay. One ordinary American, one AI, one repeatable operating system. Am I the ordinary American? Okay. It's a catalog of words, 7 artifacts. The legacy operating system. Okay, jump. I see you, jump. The architecture. Look, because it's got to jump. Okay, Claude did a better job. Claude did a better job. The architect, Claude, Claude. Claude. 5 layers, 1 system from foundation to editorial engine. The architecture. 1. Different brands do different work. Disney is a corporation. Disney Parks is an experience. Marvel is a universe. Imagineering is the R&D engine. Imagineering? Is that a real thing? Let me see something. Imagineering. I love that word. Imagineering. Imagineering. Walt Disney Imagineering is the creative force behind Disney theme parks, resorts, cruise ships, and entertainment venues worldwide. The term blends imagination with engineering to describe the practice of turning fantasy into physical reality. I love the Disney story. Disney is like the Disney story. Walt Disney, the way that he made a town to literally build a theme park so that he wouldn't have to go through all of that bureaucracy of building public buy-in. The Imagineering process. Blue sky, brainstorming wild, unfiltered ideas. Concept development, narrowing ideas into concrete stories. Design, creating blueprints and digital 3D models. Production, manufacturing ride vehicles and scenic elements. Installation, assembling and testing on the physical site. 1952, founded by Walt Disney as WED Enterprise. Opened Disneyland, the first modern theme park, introduced audio animatronics, debuted It's a Small World at the World's Fair, officially renamed Walt Disney Imagineering. Wow. Wait, they got jobs? Career listings. Hold on. Sales lead. Principal ride development, senior project planner, scheduler. This is interesting. I didn't know they had jobs at Imagineering. Bet you I could do an application. I wonder if I could do just a regular application, just a broad, hey, I happened to be doing this live stream build and came across your work. I'd love to work for you. I'm a pretty savvy gal. Let's keep reading this artifact though. Okay. So we were jumping. So 7 artifacts: the legacy operating system, hero poster, the whole vision in a single glance, the architecture, 5 layers, 1 system from foundation to editorial engine, the Stevie Wonder Internet, 30 plus digital properties, infrastructure, not UX. Wonder World, the destination, 6 districts you'll want to visit. Future Search, 2035, what the internet says when the ecosystem is built. The digital genome, from physical media to creative immortality. The higher ground spread, a letter, a proposition, and an invitation. Okay, so the legacy operating system. What if an estate thought of itself as a startup, and building that startup became a public AI media initiative? Storytelling engine, Friends in the Key of Life, Stevie Wonder Documentary Studio, Stevie Wonder Oral Histories, Stevie Wonder Playlist Project, Stevie Wonder Community, Fan Stories, Choir Network, Local Events, Education Engine, Impact Engine, Innovation Engine. I love this. This is the architecture of, what is this again? The architecture, of the operating system, I guess. I love how seriously it took the CLW Foundation and all this, which is a site I haven't even built. I haven't even imagined that site yet. I've only imagined it existing. Oh, I do know one thing. This is what I know. Let me show you what I do know. Canva. I'm going to show you what I know. I'm going to show you what I do know. Holds one a minute. No, that's not it. Yeah, here it goes. So I know that this is the logo. That's what I know. This is for Dementia Deserves Better, but I know that that's the logo. And it'll say the CLW Foundation, and then this will say for wealth, wellness, and well-being. Boom. And then that is the logo. And that's based on a picture of my dad. All right, let's keep reading. Legacy operating system. That was above. The Stevie Wonder Internet. First deployment, not a destination. A connected portfolio of 30 plus branded digital properties. This is internet infrastructure, not UX. Think of it the way Disney owns hundreds of connected websites, not one. Wonder World, first consumer experience. Disney Parks meets Spotify, meets the Smithsonian, meets National Geographic inside one destination. People don't visit StevieWonderArchive.org. They visit Wonder World. A Wonder World roots them to everything. Friends in the Key of Life, first demonstration, editorial engine, podcasts, interviews, documentaries, playlists, oral histories, live conversations. Intentionally its own editorial brand. Everything else grows from here. After Stevie, Prince World, Aretha World, Quincy World, the James Cleveland Internet, because Dolly World already exists. The OS is identical, only the cultural DNA changes. The Stevie Wonder Internet. Search Stevie Wonder and discover an entire digital civilization. Every property serves a distinct audience with reinforcing the authority and discoverability of every other property. Notice everything reinforces Stevie Wonder, not wonder. No, so this is it taking literally Wonder. Today's internet, best Stevie Wonder songs, Stevie Wonder net worth, Stevie Wonder albums ranked, Stevie Wonder biography. Tomorrow's internet, the Stevie Wonder University. Stevie Wonder University launches global music and AI curriculum. Higherground.com announces the Wonder World Legacy Lab. StevieWonderPolicy.org, Policy Institute releases Music, Disability, and Democracy Report. That's interesting. Friends in the Key of Life premieres The James Cleveland Effect. Fellows build first AI-assisted public archive of Black music influence. That's definitely important. I think about that with the Alan Lomax music all the time. Alan Lomax is a white man who recorded a lot of slave audio, slave singing. And he's the one who's written as the artist on it. Spotify launched the official Stevie Wonder playlist project. I don't know what that would mean. Innovation Prize awarded to AI accessibility startup. Estate Lab publishes the Creative Estate Playbook. The goal is not search visibility. The goal is cultural continuity. The ISRC, this is the Digital Genome Project. What is the digital genome of an entire creative legacy? Physical ownership, vinyl, cassette, CD, MP3 streaming, generative AI, living intellectual property, digital genome, creative immortality. Okay. And this is the pitch. 2 Higher Ground Productions. What if an estate thought of itself as a startup, not simply a legal entity, a living institution, one designed to grow, teach, convene, inspire, and generate value long after the first era of fame has passed? Stevie Wonder gave us the line, music is a world within itself with a language we all understand. For decades, the music industry has treated that world like a catalog, What if we treated it like a civilization? Friends in the Key of Life proposes Wonderworld, an AI native creative legacy ecosystem built around one of the most important musical and humanitarian figures of our time. Not simply another documentary, not simply another archive, an operating system for cultural continuity. Wonderworld would combine storytelling, education, oral history, playlist discovery, civic impact, philanthropy, accessibility. Higher Ground is uniquely positioned to lead this kind of work because your brand already sits at the intersection of storytelling, civic imagination, cultural memory, and public trust. This proposal asks a simple but urgent question. How do we ensure that cultural greatness continues creating value, not only economic value, but educational, civic, artistic, technological, and human value for generations? We are not proposing content. We are proposing infrastructure for the future of human creativity. Really should just say Penny Wrenn Media. But you know what? The fact that I'm going to do this, I'm just telling you not to do that live. From a catalog people revisit to a living public institution people participate in. What the heck is a colophon? A brief statement containing information about the publication of a book or document. Interesting. Okay. This catalog was produced by one ordinary American. Oh, equipped with AI, natural language, curiosity, lived experience, and a commitment to action. It is not enough to comment. We must act. I just really think that I should publish this, is what I think. Okay, this is great, Claude. Great. Now, Claude can do this. Now, which of my, I gotta see. I don't think I do. Let's see. Hold tight.
Hit a through line beyond the headline, the headline, the headline, the headline. See the through line beyond.
Hey, what did you say?
The headline, the headline, the headline, the headline. Know the through line beyond the headline.
Well, I just want you guys to get some background info. Today, I was at swim practice because I'm on the swim team.
Yeah, you are.
And I swim for Flowertown Country Club, also known as FCC. And yeah, so I'm going to tell you guys a thrilling story.
Oh, there's a whole story? Well, then wait, let me get something to hold the phone up so I don't have to hold it up to the microphone because I haven't figured out yet how to get it to play. Oh, boy. Hold on, Johnny. Let me see here.
Machine Man Johnny.
Machine Man, come for your atmosphere. Machine Man Johnny, come for your atmosphere. He's coming here, coming for you there, coming for you everywhere. Johnny!
Machine Man Johnny.
Machine Man Johnny! Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so basically, I was at swim practice. And all of a sudden, when we were stretching, it started to rain. Rain hard. Really hard. Everybody started freaking out. So they asked to call their parents. I was the second to last person to call my parents, and so I called my mom.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was on the phone with the ear doctor.
Okay, don't tell mommy's business. We don't have to do all that. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Okay, fine. Yeah, whatever. She was on the phone with someone, and then I called her.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, yeah, I called her. And when I called her, wait, what happened? Oh, yeah. Everybody kept leaving because their parents kept
Mm-hmm.
so you kept leaving. And I was the second to last person again to get picked up.
Second to last.
Second to last to get picked up. After my friend
Mm-hmm.
and my other friend,
Mm-hmm.
I was in between them,
Mm-hmm.
and we were the last three
Mm-hmm.
to get picked up.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we got picked up, it stopped raining.
Mm-hmm.
And then it started raining again
Mm-hmm.
when I got in the car.
Wait, so when you got picked up and it stopped raining, were you about to be like, I'm not going, I'm going to stay, and I'm going to... Were you about to go back inside or go back to the pool?
Because they couldn't see the bottom of the pool, which means that people think that thunder will strike and whatever.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So basically,
yeah. Got it. Now, tell me this. So what does this mean now for your day? What are you going to do? You're just going to chill? Or is that why you're calling me? Is that why you're calling me? Are you calling me for this reason?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
I'm just bored.
Oh,
so
got
my
it.
mom's making me a grilled cheese and maybe a biscuit or a cinnamon roll. I haven't decided yet.
Oh, where are you going to get what biscuit? What cinnamon roll? She has frozen biscuits and cinnamon rolls? Or where is she going to get it? Is she going to buy it?
No, so basically, we have frozen biscuits and cinnamon rolls, and they're not like in a can, but they're like, you buy them like in kind of like a metal thing,
Mm-hmm.
like in a can. You make them and put them in the oven.
Okay. Got it. Didn't know that. Okay. Oh, like the Pillsbury ones?
Huh?
Like the Pillsbury one? You know Pillsbury? Like the Pillsbury ones.
I don't know what Pillsbury is.
Pillsbury is a brand. It's a brand. I just made
anyway, it's kind of like in a can, but it's like a bigger can.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And like, yeah. So, like, the frozen biscuits and cinnamon rolls are like in there. But I haven't decided if I want cinnamon rolls or buttered biscuits.
Ooh. What do I... They both sound delicious.
I know, right?
Yeah, they both sound delicious. I mean...
It's a very hard decision.
It's a very hard decision. So, but you need to go ahead and decide so that you can eat. Because now you're making me hungry.
Last time I had frozen cinnamon rolls, but then you heat them up in the oven, so they're pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried cinnamon rolls, and they're pretty good, but I haven't. Well, I've tried biscuits. I never tried, like, the biscuits you bake in the oven.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Basically, what they do is, in the can, I think they only do, like, the batter, and you have to, like, shape them.
Yeah. Well, usually in the can, you just cut them.
Yeah, you basically just cut them.
Mm-hmm.
You cut them into shape, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you cut them into shape. Oh, my gosh. Are you serious right now, Domain? So I'm looking at this. I was just about to publish a website when you called.
Oh, you were?
I was doing a live build. So, you know, I did the 24-hour live stream on Saturday, and guess what?
What?
It's lost forever.
What do you mean it's lost forever?
It's just lost forever. It will never publish because apparently, I didn't know this. So apparently, YouTube, if you live stream for longer than 12 hours, they don't have the capability, to archive your live stream.
So they can like really publish it.
Yeah, so they can't publish it. Yep. So,
Well, then for 12, you should do a 12-hour live stream.
you think I should do so I'll do 2 12-hour live streams to make up for the 24-hour, but it was so special. Like, it's not, we'll never see it again. Pop was on. He was so good. Just we'll never be able to see that content ever again. It was such a special time. Made me sad.
No, well, I gotta tell Pop about it.
Yeah,
wait.
tell Pop about it. See if he cares. Yeah, he was really great on the show. So after you have your breakfast, then what are you gonna do?
After I've had my breakfast, I'm gonna watch my new show that I found.
Oh, is that the Kif show?
No,
What's your new show? Dallas?
no, Amphibia.
Girl, guess what? So General Hospital is getting so good. Have we talked about the bad guy Cullum?
Who's Color?
I know I've told you about him because remember I told you that Rocco was on the run because he shot somebody?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So the guy he shot, he didn't kill him when he shot him, but the guy he shot was a bad guy, and Jocelyn shot him. Now, Jocelyn, you haven't heard a ton about, but she's been in the mix. She's been in and out of different stories. There hasn't been a story where I've needed to tell you about her. Jocelyn is Carly's daughter. You don't know who Carly is either. But she works for the WSB. I know I've told you about the WSB. Remember, it's like the CIA. So she works for the WSB, and she killed Cullum. And it was like a dun-dun-dun. It was really, really good. And Sidwell was arrested.
Good morning, TT. My mom says good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Oh, Mommy, TT's live streaming.
Right now?
Yeah.
On the phone with us.
Oh, you're on the live stream?
Yeah!
Okay, good. Eat your grilled cheese.
Okay. Guess what? Also, the live stream I didn't publish. It won't publish.
Well, could this live stream publish?
Well, yeah, because it's short. So as soon as when I'm done, it will just live online. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, it's so sad. So sad.
If I go to YouTube and look up Penny Wrenn Media.
So you look at...
Penny Wrenn Media.
The fact that you know the Sami Nami Nami Nina. I love that's my favorite part of the song. You know that's my
Media.
Sami Nami Nami Nina.
Penny Wrenn Media.
Tiki 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 down down.
Penny Wrenn Media. Bum 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 bum.
Bum bum. Mm-hmm. Yep. So if
That's about TT. She says a lot.
I do. How often do I say it?
About 12 times per hour.
12 times per hour? 12 times per hour. 12 times per hour. Okay, 12 times per hour, if you say so.
You say it a lot during.
I do?
You say it a lot during the day. You do it. You say it more than you realize.
I'm sure I do say it more than I realize. Yes, I do. Well, there's not a good, so you know how people say anyway, and that's their segue, like that's their way, and or how your family says, all right then, you know, you need something that gets you out of one train of thought or conversation thread and is just like you're trying to move on. So sometimes...
Oh, right then, we can stop with the story, right?
I need your help though. Tell me something. I'm gonna read you a bunch of website addresses, and I need you to tell me which one should. So if I made something, you know who Stevie Wonder is?
No.
You don't know?
Actually, yes, I do.
Yeah, I'm about to say yes, you do.
He sings "Happy Birthday" to you.
Yeah, he does. Among other things. Yeah. Okay, I could have it live at pennywren.org. So what if I want it to live at pennywren.org? I want this to live at pennywren.org, and I want Claude to use, let's see, I want this to live at pennywren.org / Stevie.
Penny? I mean CP?
Yeah.
What are we talking about again?
Friends and the Key of Life. Okay.
I'll just let it play out.
Yeah, let's let it play out. Friends in, let's see, in the Key of Life. Got it. Use GitHub.
I'll let you typing it play out.
Okay.
I don't know what we're talking about.
That's okay. Use GitHub to deploy the site as a page, and then redirect to the .org with the thing, with the thank appended, using my GoDaddy account. Both are open in Chrome. Make sense? Doable? Question mark. Guess who I'm, so if I'm saying that, what do you think I'm typing to or with?
Wait, what?
Based on what I said, I basically typed out instructions. I said, I want this website to live on my website. Use GitHub to deploy the site as a page, and then redirect it to my website. Who do you think I typed that to? Or what do you think I typed that to? What else do I type to a lot?
That GPT.
Yeah, AI. So I did it to Claude though, not to ChatGPT. I did it to Claude.
I was gonna guess DeepSeek, then Claude.
You know, I've never used DeepSeek. Never used it.
Sheesh.
Yeah, I know. Never used DeepSeek. Never.
Wait, who's on the live stream? Like, who's watching it?
Probably nobody. Let's see. Let's see who's watching it. Hold on. Hold please. It sounds like you're outside.
It's just the rain.
Rain, go away. Come again another day. Rain. Okay.
You know, me and my friend, we created this song, and it was like, rain, go away, come again, and wait, what was it again? Rain, go away, come again another. Oh yeah, it was like this. It's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring. He bumped his head and went to bed and couldn't wake up in the morning. He's dead. That's what everybody said. The next day when his son came over, he found his body.
He found his body?
And all over it was some coffee. And that's basically it. He died and nobody knows why.
What? You added those, so his naming, it's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring. Now that's an established song, but you added all those lyrics about the man dying and his body being found?
With coffee drizzled all over it.
With coffee drizzled all over it.
Basically,
Coffee. Dang. Okay, coffee.
So, hey, you didn't let me finish the song.
Okay, go ahead. Finish the song.
When it kept raining and pouring, they had a funeral. But at the funeral, the old man awoke in the casket. He just like, so be careful, because every old man could be that very same old man, and he could haunt you if he gives you a piece of hard candy. And when he does, you have to run away and go in the ocean for 60, 70 years. Then you have to come up and cry with lots of tears. Then you have to save the day for someone or something. Could be lurking away.
Could be lurching away?
Somebody could be lurking in dishes and you don't really know. Oh, hi, Crystal. I'm gonna pet my cat named Crystal. And I kind of added that part, but everything else was real. Sorry. But this is a PO. Okay, end of the song. Yeah.
That was the end of the song, huh?
There was still more, but I think that it was kind of not going to rhyme that much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mom, the air service people are here. Why don't you tell your mom you're live streaming?
So it was when I started, it was kind of early still. But she usually watches anyway. She subscribes to my channel, so she will check it out. She will ultimately end up seeing it, I think. Probably. I'll guess that that's the case.
Oh, are you in creator camp space?
Yep, I sure am. I'm downstairs. Yep.
Can we tell them what creator camp
Absolutely.
is all about?
Tell them what Creator Camp's all about.
What?
Yes, tell them what Creator Camp is all about.
So basically, during the summer, since TT is a very creative TT, I created this TT and Clark and Blaze, and we all created this camp, and it's called Creator Camp, and it's where it's where you do stuff with TT and Uncle Brian, and you do really creative stuff. And I did Creator Camp last week. It was 2 weeks ago,
Mm.
and it's super fun. And I had pickle candy that Uncle Brian got for me, and it was when every candy looks like a pickle, but there's different stuff that's different. Like, there would be watermelon that looks like a pickle, apple that looks like a pickle. Anyway, Creative Camp is super fun because you get to do all these creative things. And it's super fun also because, you get to spend time with Titi. And Titi's super fun sometimes.
Sometimes?
That's explained.
Okay.
But sometimes you have to be, well, she's only fun sometimes, and the sometimes comes from if you don't listen. And yeah, so I don't really listen sometimes, so that's where the not fun comes from. Because if you don't listen, then she'll yell at you. But yeah.
I don't yell.
Well, you say it in a very stern voice.
Yes, that's fair. Stern voice, 100%. Stern voice, all day long. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's basically it. That's the downfall of Creator Camp.
The downfall of Creator Camp is the fact that I'm stern. I have high expectations.
For moi.
True.
Oh, guys, I'm just talking to my pet Crystal. She's a cat.
She's my god cat, huh?
Yeah. Oh, hi, Crystal. Are you going under the bed? That's cool. Okay. Bye, Crystal. So Crystal's basically under the bed. So
Really?
Does anybody on here watch General Hospital?
Probably
Comment
not. Mm-hmm.
TT, let me finish.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Comment in the comments if you watch General Hospital.
Okay.
And if you don't, you better start watching, because when TT live streams, we might talk about it.
Oh,
So
okay.
you would want to know what it really is. That way, when we talk about it, you could have something in common with us, and maybe you could let us know something. Comment below, family.
Yes, okay.
So, TT, is there anything you want to add before I go on and on and on and on about how we should choose between butter biscuits and cinnamon rolls?
Well, I will tell you, the one thing I want to add is that I'm so glad you called when you did, and I'm trying to see if my friends. Oh, here it is, right here. If it worked, it did work. I'm gonna text this to your. I'm gonna text this to your mom. Open it and see if you can see it. Okay.
What happened?
I just the website published. I want you to look at it and see if you can see it on your mom's phone.
Okay. I'm waiting.
How do I make sure?
What world, Stevie?
The site has a thumbnail. Just click it.
Oh, PennyWren.org.
Yep.
Wonder World. The Stevie Wonder Internet, powered by the Legacy operating system.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is this a pitch?
Yes, it's a pitch. It's a pitch. How did you know that?
Because I saw it in my shows about what pitches look like.
What shows? What show are you talking about?
KIF.
KIF?
Yeah, KIFF.
Wait, KIF said what pitches look like?
Her dad had to do a pitch, and it was terrible, and they had to make her dad's pitch very good in one of the episodes.
Really? No dad ideas. Okay, in the Disney animated series KIF, Chatterley's dad, Martin, is a freelance inventor who regularly creates offbeat novelty items. If you are thinking of the episode where he tries to sell his products, it is titled No Dad Ideas. In this episode, Martin pitches his inventions, including a double-brimmed trucker hat called the Double Trucker, and a musical invention to potential investors, culminating in a pitch to the technology company We Nuts. What happens? Does he get it? Or does KIF make his pitch better?
Oh, yeah, so I'll tell you about that.
Yeah, tell me what happens.
So basically what happens is, so KIF is like, well, my dad is just this guy, and he sits on the couch, and he doesn't do anything, and my mom makes all the nuts, and the nuts is like coins, money. Wait, just a sec, guys. Yeah, Mommy?
You just screwed up the thing. Never touch the remote on these mini splits.
Okay.
Okay? Do not turn it off. When you turn it to heat, that's what messed it up.
Oh, okay. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So basically during KIF, like you... Wait, what?
Give me 1 second, sir. I'm going to turn the other one on.
And so...
Did you touch the remote in my room also?
No, I don't know where it is. And so in KIF, basically, Martin, the dad, he makes KIF to work with
Wait,
him.
answer your mom. Go answer. Stand up. Go over and help your mom. Go
He's
answer.
asking somebody else a question.
Okay.
Because the air guys are here. So basically, during KIF,
Mm-hmm.
so he takes KIF to work with him. He
Mhm.
takes KIF to work, and he has a pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Because he wants to invent this double trucker thing,
Mm-hmm.
but he needs some actual investors.
Mm-hmm.
So he shows the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
And when he shows a pitch, they're like, I feel, in there's this really funny part, and they're like, I feel really sad for that guy's kid, and Kif is literally standing right there, and then they're like, oh, sorry, we didn't really mean it like that, and then this other person was like, no, it's better if she knows the truth now.
Mm-hmm.
So that motivates Kif, and she's like, you know what? I am going to get a confidence boost with my dad because he was like not really confident. He was like really sad when they didn't like his pitch. He was all down. So then he's like, so basically what happens is she has a best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And her best friend's name is Barry Buns. And Barry Buns is a bunny. And so yeah, he has an older sister named Terry, and she's like this very famous like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, like this very big influencer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so she puts on a disguise, and Kif says to her dad and lies to her dad and says, listen, basically I got you this meeting with this like super cool person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's an investor, and she's a really big star, but she doesn't like to talk about it, so like don't talk about it or whatever. I guess that's what she tells her dad. She doesn't really know that, but like that's what I'm guessing. She said, but she was like, this is Terry from Terry Inc., which is not a real thing. She puts on a disguise because he knows, because if he sees that that's just his daughter's best friend's older sister, then he'll be like, oh, well, I mean, she's not an investor. She's only like 16 or however old Terry is. And so she puts on a disguise and she says, I love your ideas. And so basically, long story short, he does this concert, and right before the concert, she has a job to deliver pizzas. And he has to deliver this pizza to the concert. And then he's like, Terry from Terry Inc., what's going on here? And then she's like, I'm sorry, it's just that she's not a real investor, and I'm sorry that I lied, blah, blah, blah. And then he was like, what? I thought that it was still Terry from Terry Inc., and she just likes to do this stuff to keep in contact with the common folk. And then she was like, oh, I should have let you speak first. And then he got really mad and he lost his confidence. But this is bad because he's holding this big concert, and like everybody's looking forward to seeing his amazing and great ideas. And so she's like, right before he goes on stage, she's like, Dad, you have amazing ideas. And whatever was wrong with this pitch that these people didn't like, they obviously were terrible people and terrible investors because your ideas were great. And Terry didn't lie to say that she liked them. She really did. And I told her about your ideas or whatever. And she says all that confidence stuff. And he goes out there, and then he looks at all the people. He looks at Kif, and he's like, I'm sorry for wasting your time. And then Kif has to go backstage with him and say, listen, and says all the confidence stuff again. He's like, you know what? I can do this. And he goes out on stage and he nails it. But at the end of the concert, there's only one person left. And the person has like to deliver something. I forget what, but they had to stay till the end of the concert to draw a picture of him or do something.
Mm-hmm.
And lost all his confidence again. But he's like, you know what? I think that my ideas were good. And I guess that's all that matters. End of episode. So Kids is a very good show, and it has life lessons like these. And so that's why
It sounds like, what's that Blue show that y'all, what's that Bluey? Sounds a little bit like Bluey. Mm-hmm.
Well, they have a character that's kind of like Bluey,
Mhm.
which is Barry Buns, the bunny.
Mhm.
Barry, the bunny. And so, yeah.
That was a good explanation.
So if you would like to watch more shows like Kids, you should definitely watch Bluey. Because Bluey, I don't watch Bluey anymore, but I do know that it has good lessons like these. You could watch Kids, you could watch Bluey. What's some other shows they might like? I have to go on my watching list and see some other shows. Oh, Phineas and Ferb, like, it doesn't really have a lot of lessons.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I mean, it has some lessons, so you might want to watch Phineas and Ferb. It's also like a comedy. It's really funny. You might also want to watch Amphibia.
Amphibia, okay. Mm-hmm.
Amphibia is a good show. And those shows are all on Disney. So Phineas and Ferb, Kiss, Bluey, and Amphibia, and more. There are lots of animations and cartoons that are very good. And some people are like, oh, cartoons are for babies. But some cartoons are very interesting. And I still like cartoons, and I'm 9. And like cartoons.
Hold on one second. So what's happening now on my screen, if you can tell that it's Claude is in real time debugging the Friends in the Key of Life pitch, because when I sent it in text, it didn't have, when you send text messages, especially in websites in text message, especially if you are sending between 2 iPhones, there will be a thumbnail image illustrating what the website is. And when I just sent it to Cooper, to her mom's phone, that image wasn't showing. So I've got Claude what I hope is working on creating an image so that when I share this website, it will show up with the Wonder World image or some other type of hero image. So that's what's happening. I just noticed that it was kind of moving by itself. Anyway, go ahead.
So I was just gonna say that, like, some people say Bluey, cartoons that are just things for kids, like 6-year-olds. But look at me, I'm 9 and I still enjoy cartoons. And some cartoons, they're not just for like 4-year-old, 5-year-old, and like 3, that age range from like 5 and under. They're for like a lot of different people. And also, like, some cartoons, they're a bit more mature. Because, like, if you still like cartoons and you still like those, like, younger shows, people will call it maybe, and you also like mature shows a little bit, you can watch mature cartoons. Kind of, that teach you lessons, but it's not like Mickey Mouse or something. So I personally think that cartoons are really good shows, but you don't have to watch like a show. Because I personally think that quote unquote baby shows are like shows where like the people might be talking to you. They're like, hi there, friends. Like, I don't really watch those shows anymore, but people still can enjoy them. I'm not saying that those are baby shows. It's just, to me, those are shows that I watched when I was little, and I don't really watch them anymore, and I've grown out of them.
Yes.
So I call them baby shows because that's what I watched when I was a baby.
Right.
But necessarily, baby shows aren't like all type, like, there's not really like a type of show you can call baby show, because like someone could watch the show that I'm watching when they're a baby and call it a baby show, but that's a baby show to them because day
Mm-hmm.
watching for a baby.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be a baby show to everybody.
Right. Right. Now, that was such a thorough unpacking of what is and isn't a baby show, what are different shows that are similar to this KIF show, what the pros of educational content, the value of life lessons and animated content. You really pull together I always say 360, a 360-degree appraisal, of not only KIF, but of the Disney content universe and its value. I don't know why Disney hasn't hired you as a spokesperson and junior creator. I think that you would make wonderful content for them.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And if that's ever a pitch that you want to work on, you know who to come to, right?
Yeah, Oprah Winfrey. Just kidding.
Oh,
Well,
Cooper.
wait.
Mm-hmm.
And also in Creator Camp, we do have a specialty camp, and it's called Oprah's Oprah Voice. Oprah's Oprah Voice.
No, it's called Talk Show.
Yeah,
It's a talk show camp.
It's called Talk Show. It's called Talk Show TV. It's called Talk Show TV.
Talk Show TV is cute. Talk Show TV is cute. That one should stick.
And Talk Show TV is when you like learn how to be on camera, how to what to talk about, what not to talk about,
Mm-hmm.
like what you should talk about on TV, what people are interested in,
Mm-hmm.
and a confidence boost, and how you should maybe do stuff and say stuff and be a little bit more proper, and it's just learning how to be if I wanted to be an actor when I grow up,
Mm-hmm.
I would.
Do you want to be an actor when you grow up?
No, I said if.
Yeah, I didn't think you wanted to be an actor when you grew up. Okay, go ahead.
No,
Mm-hmm.
I would be a dermatologist.
That's right. I forgot that's the latest, isn't it? Mm-hmm.
But if I don't want to be a dermatologist, I'll go into finance. And if I don't want to go into finance, I'll be an actor.
Okay. Okay. And those are the only options?
Yeah, I literally made a list for myself. It's doctor, actor, finance, let's see what else. Engineer.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Well, I don't really know, but I'll have my maybe business. I'll go into business. Maybe.
Mm-hmm. 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 That's a good idea.
Anyway, I'm just saying, if you want to be an actor when you grow up and you know TT, then you should definitely invest in Talk Show TV. Talk Show with the Talkies on TV.
Show with the Talkies? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, wait, it should be Talk Show. It should be Talk Show TV with the Talkies.
Talk Show TV with the Talkies. Okay. And now the Talkies that's us?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People who talk a lot.
Oh, okay. I guess we do talk a lot, huh?
Yeah, we do.
That's true. I put the TT time picture up since I've been on the phone with you. I figured that I might as well kind of brand this segment TT time. What do you think?
Oh yeah, this is TT time virtually.
Yeah, this is TT time virtually. You're right. 100%.
Now I'm gonna go watch a show.
Oh, so now you're leaving me. Great. Okay, got it. That's fine.
Wait, one more thing before I go. Should I do buttered biscuits or cinnamon rolls?
I actually am feeling both. I feel like you should have one half of a biscuit and then another half of a cinnamon roll.
I think I'm gonna do buttered biscuits first because I've already tried the cinnamon roll.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, bye.
Bye. Love you. Bye.
Bye, love you, bye.
That was was Cooper, everybody. What a nice surprise. Cute surprise. Now I want to see if this thing fixed, huh? So I was texting with Raina in the background, and she is very upset that Oh, perfect. Okay, now it goes. She was very upset that that the 24-hour live stream now won't be available. It's upsetting, but anyway. All right, so now got the thumbnail to work. This is alive on the Friends in the Key of Life page of pennywren.org, and I think now comes a little bit of offline work to figure out who to pitch this to. I'd be curious if and when my mom watches this, if she's watched the whole thing, what she thinks about the idea, pitching to the Obama's media company. And yeah, and I think I would also want to unpack, think more specifically about the blueprint for making each of these things happen. I'm going to look at the Disney Imagineering process too, and how the Imagineering process, kind of going through it, positively reverse engineering it, would look, and where all of the money inputs are, and who or what could provide that money. Yeah. I mean, can't hurt. Worst somebody could say is no, right? Worst somebody could say is no. So, thank you for spending time with me this morning. I truly did not expect to be live streaming for multiple hours. I think it's been 3 or 4 hours. Maybe this is me feeling a loss from 101 ideas in that time, that 24-hour time span of it was so good. 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 But more to come. If that was so good, I can't imagine how great the next event programming broadcast, the next event broadcast will be. Event broadcast, I guess. What the next event broadcast will be. Okie dokie. Bye. Have a great Monday.
Penny Wrenn Media, ba bum ba bum bum ba bum bum ba bum. Penny Wrenn Media, send it to ba bum ba ba ba. Penny Wrenn Media, sunny nani nami here. Penny Wrenn Media, Penny Wrenn Media, Penny Wrenn Media. Penny Wrenn, oh yeah, Penny Wrenn, you got this Wrenn. Penny Wrenn, oh, Penny Wrenn, oh yeah, Penny Wrenn, oh, Penny Wrenn, oh, Penny Wrenn, oh, Penny Wrenn, yeah, Penny Wrenn. Oh, Penny Wrenn, yeah, Penny Wrenn. Penny Wrenn can do it. Penny Wrenn, yes she can, yes she can. Penny Wrenn, she can do it, 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 yeah. Watch her work, watch her go, watch her work, watch her work, watch her work, watch her work. I'm Penny Wrenn, watch her work. I'm Penny Wrenn, watch me 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 work. I'm gonna work it out, yes I am. I'm gonna work it out, yes I am. I'm gonna work it out. I'm gonna work it out, yes I am. I'm gonna work it out because I can. I'm gonna work it out because I'm Penny Wrenn, I'm Penny Wrenn, Penny Wrenn, Penny Wrenn, oh yeah. my side. I got the living Holy Spirit inside. I got all the authority, all the help that I need. I'm Curtis Wrenn's daughter, and Evelyn Wrenn's indeed. I'm gonna work it out, yes I am. I'm gonna work it out because I can. Watch me work, watch me work. You ain't ready for what I got to say. You ain't ready for what I'm about to do. You ain't ready for me. I'm about to work it out. Gonna work it out because you know I can. Oh yes I can, oh yes I can. Oh, penny Wrenn, penny Wrenn, penny Wrenn, oh yeah, penny Wrenn, penny Wrenn, penny Wrenn, you got this Wrenn. Penny Wrenn, penny Wrenn, penny Wrenn, penny Wrenn, penny Wrenn, oh, penny Wrenn, penny Wrenn, penny Wrenn, oh yeah, penny Wrenn, penny Wrenn, penny Wrenn. Oh, penny Wrenn, penny Wrenn, oh, penny Wrenn, oh penny Wrenn, yeah, penny Wrenn, oh penny Wrenn, yeah, penny Wrenn, penny Wrenn can do it, penny Wrenn, penny Wrenn, penny Wrenn, yes she can, yes, yes, yes she can, penny Wrenn, she can do it, 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 yeah. Watch her work, watch her go, watch her work, watch her work, watch her work, watch her work. I'm Penny Wrenn, watch her work. I'm Penny Wrenn, watch me 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 work. I'm gonna work it out, yes I am. I'm gonna work it out, yes I am. I'm gonna work it out. I'm gonna work it out, yes I am. I'm gonna work it out because I can. I'm gonna work it out because I'm Penny Wrenn, I'm Penny Wrenn, Penny Wrenn, Penny Wrenn, oh yeah. Penny Wrenn, Penny Wrenn. Gonna work it out, dun 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 dun. Gonna work it out, dun 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 dun. I'm gonna work it out, dun 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 dun. I got the power of Christ on my side. I got the living Holy Spirit inside. I got all the authority, all the help that I need. I'm Curtis Wrenn's daughter, and Evelyn Wrenn's indeed. I'm gonna work it out, yes I am. I'm gonna work it out because I can. Watch me work, watch me work. You ain't ready for what I got to say. You ain't ready for what I'm about to do. You ain't ready for me. I'm about to work it out. Gonna work it out because you know I can. Oh yes I can, oh yes I can. Oh, penny Wrenn, penny